People like to look at Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and laugh at it and say that this is all of America. They do that all over the Chinese internet right now. Don't look like Kensington to me over here. But let me tell you, if you continue to do the work of the devil, your street will look like Kensington too, no matter where you are. What you're looking at is not an anomaly or a failure of a system. What you're looking at is the same system that you guys are in, progressed 20, 30 years later. So, think about that. Sun Tzu says the only way to defeat an army is to defeat its morale. It won't be long from now. Hello. It won't be long from now until missiles come raining down.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Let go of your disillusionment programming from all of the disillusionment programming sources and go to the Quran.
Yes. Why the Quran?
Because the Quran is the criterion and the set of guidelines that you need to live in the right way in God's eyes. And it clears a lot of the things up in life that people have questions about, and that it clears up all these scriptural lies and from past scriptures and in the Bible, and it validates certain things in Apocrypha. And it's just a necessary means to live in this life and how to live, because without it, there's really no way to live.
For real, fam. So, anyways, that is true, and I support that statement. Pretty soon, you'll see one missile raining down here on Stewart Airport. You'll see the next one off in the distance hit West Point. And at that point, you could assume New York City is totally underwater. Or at least what's left of it is. Then, strangely enough, in the last 40 or 50 years, the town I was born, it changed the way of London and went the way of London. My people who live in London, they know what I'm talking about. The Queen dedicated London to Gog and Magog before she died. So, who are Gog and Magog? Well, in English folklore, it's a mythical giant that every once in a while gets upset at England and comes and fucks them up a little bit, right? In the Bible, the Hindu scriptures, the Quran, you could argue, Gog and Magog are descendants of Japhet that were put behind a wall by Alexander the Great. And they would be locked there for a time, and the Quran promises sometime later they will come out, and they will be a sign of the end of the world. It will be the trumpet blowing for the first time, and the trumpet only blows twice and then the world's over. So the trumpet will blow, and they will come pouring in from every of the four corners of the flat earth realm. Only people who have world police in other countries, people like to think it's America. Sure, you can believe that all you want. Laugh all the way to the bank. But to be honest, China has troops in the east and in the west. The east being the farthest reaches of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil or something, and the west being Spain, and everywhere in between. So they already had a minor invasion as promised in the Bible. Now, they don't have the missiles to do this, but Russia does. But if you look at the words Gog and Magog, Gog means to be harsh and dry. Magog means from Gog, from those who are harsh and dry. Well, if you read the Apocrypha, the way that the earth was separated amongst the children of Noah, were that Ham got the southernmost points, and he had curly hair and dark skin. Shem got the middle temperate climate, and he had light hair and light eyes and light skin. And then Japhet got the Arctic region, the cold region, and the Antarctic, theoretically. So now Russians live in the Arctic and Asians live in temperate and southern climates. So how did this happen? Well, there had to be some wars, and it's promised in the Book of Jubilees that anyone who leaves the territory they were meant to will be cursed. So Russia is, some of them are in the Arctic, some of them are in the temperate, but it stands to reason that some of them are cursed. Maybe not. Maybe they seem like good people. I don't know. I like the Russians. But the Han Chinese, they are harsh and dry. No one can say that. And Russians are kind of harsh and kind of dry people too. So I think we could both agree that Gog is the Han Chinese and Magog is their allies, who are Russia, all the stands, India, to a lesser extent Canada, because Canada supplies India with nuclear weapons. Who else? I heard they got El Salvador and some other countries working for training in the military in Russia with China right now on the west coast of Russia, which is the part that faces America, Alaska. You can see Alaska from Russia. So Russia has 4,000 nuclear armed missiles. Of course, there's no such thing as nuclear weapons because you can't split an atom, because atoms don't exist. Hydrogen is merely corrosion from water and metal shavings, and so just talk about splitting molecules. There's just particles, so you can't split a molecule. So the good news is there's no such thing as nuclear weapons. The bad news is there is really big bombs, and probably all the other stuff that they say about nuclear weapons is true. It just applies to really big bombs. So, that being said, I wish you all well. You could consider this a warning. There is but one God, my people, so turn to him and repent. And this is your best strategy, because every time the human population gets too big, they're going to have to do something about it. Who's they? Well, you could say it's the elites, but really at the end of the day it's Satan, because Satan has a war against humanity and he wants to take the most souls he can to go to hell. So when there's enough people and they're not inclined to righteousness, they don't stand upright because of parasites, Morgellons, whatever you want to call them, their bones are out of place. And because they don't stand upright and are not inclined towards righteousness, they get stiff-necked. And when they become stiff-necked, they turn towards evil. And in that way they serve the jinn or the demons. They serve the parasites, and the parasites serve them, but it's at the loss of the next life, which is the really important life. So people go to war because of a means of denial. They want to go fight for a country which is just a geological point on a map, and they think that it matters or something like that. Most of these people are mercenaries, if I recall. I'm not sure how many of these people are actually drafted and have no choice, at least at the last couple points. I don't know about now, but this could all be avoided, but at the end of the day, this is what God is willing. The devil has his plan, and obviously the elites want us wiped out because they don't like how many people there are. There's enough robots to make all the food for the elites, so they don't really need us anymore. Of course they want a couple of our women or men, whatever they want, but more than just locking us up, pumping us for our semen, impregnating our women and breeding us like livestock, they don't really have much use for us other than that. So we will see how this turns out. God promises that the Han Chinese will die from a parasite in the tape of their neck, and I believe it. And I've removed mine, as you can see. I don't know if you're picking that up. I don't know if the folks at home can see that. So we'll see how the Chinese do when they get here. And for now, I turn to God and ask him to have mercy on us all. I believe it was Rear Admiral Richard Evelyn Byrd when he first went to Hyperborea that was warned by the Hyperboreans, a race of Aryan giants, that we would bring each other to extinction. I also believe that after Gog and Magog invade in the Quran, there's talk of a sea creature. It is also in the Bible after the mark of the beast, the mask and the hand sanitizer or whatever. And so like I think we're gonna fuck up with nuclear weapons so bad that we fuck up the water, and then the sea creature comes out, it's gonna yell at us, and then probably the mountains and hills are just gonna turn to dust, and it's all over after that. So really turn to God, repent, and this is Truth Unveiled, the other half. Peace.